Hey guys, Gray here, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to do a very quick video today, and my apologies in advance for the clickbaity title, but I think it warranted it, because this, what I'm about to tell you, it really is the one main thing that I did to deliberately start to improve my tinnitus. And if you're not familiar with my tinnitus history, 6 years ago I suffered a debilitating spike that was so loud, I could hear it over everything in my life. It was so piercing and present and distracting and debilitating, I basically spent 4 months curled up in the corner of my room crying. I was a fully grown man, and I was reduced to a crying wreck in my room because of this screaming in my head. I had 6 different noises at its worst, and they would bounce about all over the place and keep me unable to focus on anything. I couldn't watch TV, not that I particularly watch TV anyway. I just couldn't focus. I was so exhausted, so sleep deprived, so fucked up from what was going on in my head. It was that distracting that I couldn't sit and do something so simple. So when I say this is the main thing that I used to bring me out of that horrible state, a state I'm sure some of you know all too well, it seems pathetic and small and simple, and for a lot of you, I'm sure you're hoping for things along the lines of, I took this pill, or I had this surgery, or I did these exercises, or I gave up sugar, or I did this thing. We're always looking for this one quick fix, and the honest truth is, there aren't any with ailments like tinnitus. It's a chronic issue with a lot of factors that play into it. There's a million different things, and this is why spikes seem so random and unexplainable. There's too many factors, and we can't account for all of them. Even if you spend all day long writing everything down that happens and studying it and looking at it, you can't put these things under a microscope. Life happens. Different things stimulate you in different ways. The weather's different today than it was yesterday. That affects the pressure in your ears. It's crazy how many different things affect our tinnitus. But with that said, there are some basic rules you can follow to get it to improve, because the fundamental underlying thing that affects your ringing is your nervous system balance. When the sympathetic nervous system is overstimulated for too long, your body shits itself, basically. It craps out. You stop being able to nourish yourself properly. Your energy goes into keeping your adrenaline spiked and keeping your cortisol elevated and keeping you ready to react to the many different chronic stresses in the modern world. And the problem with that is it's not sustainable. You're not meant to live in that kind of state. And I've talked about that a lot in my previous videos. Feel free to check them out. For this video, I want to talk about the main thing that I did to start to address that imbalance, to start to address that chronic stress, and start to genuinely improve my ringing. And this wasn't some dumb trick off of Reddit where, click your fingers on the back of your head and, tinnitus is gone. It's fucking stupid, honestly, that kind of stuff. This, for me, really was the closest to that I think you're going to find. And it's dead simple. To improve your ringing, you need to improve your fundamental emotional stress balance and how you deal with the world, how you interact with the world. You need to be able to maintain a more calm and relaxed state of being while going about swimming in this ocean of stress and crap. It's really difficult to do, and it's why tinnitus is so difficult to improve for so many people. This tool really helped me. I hope it helps you. So it was as simple as, at the start of the day, I'd wake up, stop being passed out, I guess was a better way of putting it, when I was suffering from my spike. I didn't sleep very well. I would get up out of bed, take stock of what I was feeling, and I would try to deliberately shift my focus. I would slow my mind down. Whatever thoughts I was having, slow them down, just make it all run at half speed. Take a deep breath, and then try to connect with my body. And I would just caress the palm of my hand. That was the most straightforward way of doing it. And you can do this anywhere on your body, anywhere that feels good. Giggity, I know. But it really works to connect you with your body and get you out of your head and stop you stimulating yourself in such a sympathetic nervous system type way. And that's it. That's literally it. You do this 10-15 minutes and it really works. You connect, focus on it like a child. Just, this feels nice. Focus on that feeling, for those few minutes you do it. I did it about 10-15 minutes every morning. Really connect with your body and what you're doing. Focus on the physical sensation. Feel your toes on the ground. Ideally, go stand on some grass or something like that. That really works. Feel the earth beneath your feet. And caress. You can do your arms. You can do wherever feels good. Everywhere's fine. The neck, that was quite a common one for me. Back of the neck, top of the spine. That works beautifully. I've just felt my ear pop doing it there. Still recovering from the bug I had last week. And that was it. 10-15 minutes of that. And by the end of it, my breathing would be slower, my thoughts would be slower. They are now. I'm actually a bit calmer just doing that now. And as stupid and pathetic as this seems, because I know a lot of people, they're suffering really badly. I've been there. I know that feeling. I know how overwhelming that is and how much you're fixated on a cure or someone to do something to you to fix it. You want a surgery, you want a pill, you want something you can take to kill that noise, and it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. A lot of people, they have some kind of success along those lines by taking things like anticonvulsant medications, which are literally things that shut your nervous system down. So all the spikes of neurons running everywhere and all of that, it shuts it right down. And that will make the ringing quieter. But you'll lose your vision, you'll lose your general function, different parts of your body get affected. You can't just shut down the electrical stimulus for life going on in your body. You can't just artificially depress it and expect everything else to work fine. You can't stay on that stuff forever. So finding a more direct and subtle approach, like the gentle massage, and connecting with it, and really allowing yourself to tune into that positive feeling and focusing on that relaxed state, that really helps. That works. It's subtle. You're not going to click off your ringing like some weird Reddit cure or something like that doing this. But you may notice after doing it for a few days, maybe your ringing will be a little better. Maybe your spikes will be a little more stable. And for me, it was doing this daily, practicing being in that state. And this was the key point of it. Practice that. Get in that relaxed state. It physically drops you into a calmer state. Bloody stay in it when you go about your day-to-day life. I wouldn't come out of that and then, right, now I've got to do, and straight off. I would do my best to stay in this state and try to avoid letting the day-to-day stresses of life take me out of it. And there were a lot of stresses for me at that point in time. Like, my dad was in hospital. Pretty sure he was going to die. We were dead certain he was going to die. I had him written off mentally, honestly. It was the only way I could cope with that situation. It was just, right, he's gone. Move on, deal with it, because I was so distracted with my ringing and the pain I was dealing with there, I couldn't focus on anything else, even a situation as bad as that. And my family was in tatters at the time because of it. My little brother, he avoids his feelings, especially negative ones. He was out of the house all the time doing God knows what to try to cope with that situation. My older brother, bless him, he suffers from the same thing that put my dad in hospital. He was not doing well in that state, and my mum, God bless my mum, she loves my dad, she was in pieces. So there was a lot of stress going on at that point in my life. A lot of things that were really difficult. So when I say I had to deliberately make a point of relax, calm down, now go about your day, and don't let anything knock you off of that. I had some very real issues at the time that were trying to knock me out of that state. But I recognized I've got to get my nervous system to relax, to calm down, to get it under control. Otherwise this ringing's going to kill me. And I was really desperate at one point with my health. I got low, very low for quite a while. And it was only the fact that my dad was in the hospital and, again, assumed he was going to die at the time, that I didn't take things further with my own situation. I couldn't put my family through it. I've mentioned this a few times, and I'm mentioning it more now because, honestly, I didn't process that at the time. I was really close to considering doing something drastic. So, as pathetic as this seems, I can't overstate how powerful it was over the long term. I did it every day, several times a day. Anytime I started to feel overwhelmed and stressed, and I felt my mind racing and the tinnitus going haywire, I'd go to my room, I'd put on, some of the white noise that I tended to use. I can put those in the comments below if you want. But any white noise that you find relaxing enough will do. Just anything to take the edge off of the ringing. And then I would do 10, 15 minutes, just caress, and just really focus in. Tune everything else out, forget everything else for a few minutes, and focus on that positive feeling, and try to drop myself into that relaxed state. And then I'd go about my day again. I'd go back into the fray with all the stresses going on, hospital, mum's crying, all the kinds of things that were going on, and try to stay in that place. That's it. In a nutshell, it really is that simple. And it's simple, it's not easy to do. It is really, really difficult. And again, this is why so many people struggle to make progress with their tinnitus. The fundamental thing that dictates how loud your tinnitus is your nervous system balance. And getting that to genuinely change involves changing a lot of things about you that typically people don't bloody change. You've got to change your emotional habits and how you deal with stress, how you react to things as they happen in your life. To sum it up in short, you've got to get to a point where you respond to life, not react. There's a big difference. And the more you can do this and relax and focus, and for some of you it won't work, for some of you you'll need something else. That's fine. I did initially. Different things work for different people. You've got to find what works for you, but the point is you've got to get into that state. And a self-massage is probably the most direct way to do it. So that is my advice. That is the one simple magic thing I did every day to fix my tinnitus, to get it to improve. I practiced that every day. I really focused on it. And I used that as a baseline to start to reshape who I was emotionally and how I reacted to day-to-day life and all the stresses it could throw at me. And it worked. It worked. It took months to see real progress, but it worked so well. I got back to normal after about 4 or 5 months of that. You know, not normal, but healed enough that I felt normal again. I was able to play video games again. I was able to put headphones on, you know, for hours at a time. I was able to do all the things that, according to tinnitus forums, nope, you're not allowed to do anymore. Fuck me, those places are a mess. So yeah, I highly recommend you give this a go, even if you just do 10 minutes at the start of the day. This isn't about instantly clicking off your ringing. This is about doing the things that plant the seeds so that over the long term, you can improve your nervous system balance and you can gradually improve the things that are causing your ringing. It's not easy to do. It's not as simple as it sounds on paper. You do the massage, you do all the right things, and some days are still going to suck. You're still going to have a rough day and really struggle with your ringing, and it happens. The reality of that situation, I've been there. All you can do is on the days where it's really kicking your ass, do the best that you can to not react emotionally and try not to make it worse. That's all you can do. Just the way I put it, on those days, try to make it the least crap that you can. If you can't make it good, just make it the least bad. And that went a long way towards it. If I could just cut it back for 5 minutes in a day, I'd done my job. And then I could try again tomorrow. Hopefully it'd be 10 minutes tomorrow. And eventually you build up. Hopefully you can maintain that calmer state for hours, and eventually days. And at that point, your tinnitus will stop being a thing. If you get to the point where you genuinely are in a more relaxed state, and you don't need to do this or anything else to achieve it, your ringing will stop bothering you. I promise. It's inevitable. It seems so simple, so stupid, and so pathetic in comparison to what a lot of people have got in mind. Again, you want a surgery, you want a pill, you want fixing. But you don't need fixing. You're not broken. You're just adapted for the situations and the stresses you're in. If you can change how you deal with those stresses, you'll change how your body's adapted to it. Physically, it will physically rewire and your ringing will start to come down, I promise. So that's it. I really hope this video helps you. I hope you find something useful from it you can use, and I mean it. This is such a powerful tool, just connecting with your body. It's so stupid, only a child would think of it. But generally, children don't have tinnitus. I know, it's a silly metaphor, but you get the idea. Try it, see if it works. Let me know what other things work for you. There's all sorts of tools that works, but this worked for me, and it really did give me my life back. So best of luck to you all. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll always get round to questions from tinnitus sufferers. Eventually. Sometimes it takes me a while with how big the channel's starting to get. Sometimes YouTube doesn't notify me of comments. So always, if in doubt, if you're really struggling, leave a message on my latest video. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I hope you all have a lovely day. It's been really nice to talk to you again, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Take care till then. Bye.